You are welcome to an ITTFM special interview with Cathal. He'll be running for the position of president in the 2015 to 2016 ITTSU Students' Union. How are you doing, Cathal?
Hi Alex, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. So what do you think your role involves?
Well, for me, Alex, I think the role of president involves the overall supervision and running of the student union and making sure that it's working on behalf of the students of ITTALA. I think moving forward in the year to come with the merger with DIT and IT Blanche, and later moving on, obviously, to the merger for DTU, I think it's essential that my role sort of involves making sure that the Students' Union is working in collaboration with the college, kind of keeping the students' best interests at heart, and making sure that, we're working and doing our best to make sure that they get the best out of this merger. So for me, I think that's what the position will entail for me for the year coming.
That's a good point, bringing up DTU. And what has the Student Union done well in regards to your role over this past term?
I think in terms of the merger, like Glenn works with the presidents of IT Blanche and DIT. They're on the Students' Union Steering Committee for the merger. They have regular meetings to make sure that they are working in collaboration as well. I think in general the Students' Union has done a great job over the last term, and I'm sure, as we all know, they also had a term before that as well. So I think over the past 2 years, they've put a lot of wheels in motion, a lot of good wheels in motion for the students of the college. I think they've turned around the image of the Students' Union in terms of, they take it serious, but also have the social aspect then as well. They've built great relationships with the staff and officials of the college to make sure that, they're making sure that the college is hearing the students' voice and making sure that the students are heard, So I think that's a really good sort of point that the Students' Union have made over the last term.
Yeah, they had a very strong presence with the class reps this semester and last semester, with all the meetings they've had and all the points students have brought to them, and points that they have actually fixed. So that's a good answer. What did they not do well or could have done better over this term?
I think it's always easy to sort of say what people haven't done well instead of what they have done well.
Yeah.
I think it's always easy to point the finger and go, you should have done that better. For me personally, I would like to maybe work a lot more with the officials of the college to make sure that, the students' voice is really heard. I'm not saying that the current student union haven't done that. I just want to, really make sure that it does happen, and at the same time report what I am doing back to the class reps a lot, to make sure that they do actually know what I have discussed or what I have been involved in. Like I said, I think it's really easy to point the finger at people and say what they haven't done, but I do think they've done a good job. I'd like to improve on what they have done and maybe alter certain things that I think maybe could have been done better. So that would be sort of what I would.
Sounds good. How could a student union have improved, and what will you do to improve it?
The student union as a whole, I think, like I said, over the last 2 years has worked very well. I think to progress on from that, we need to stay working at what we're doing. For me personally, I think the class rep system definitely is going to stay in place. I love the fact of the officer reports. It makes sure that every officer in the student union is held accountable to the students who have elected them, especially for the 3 full-timers who are obviously being paid. It's definitely important that they are held accountable for what they are or aren't doing. I think in terms of what I'm going to improve on is I want to make sure that all the full-time student union officers have SUSI training, not just the welfare officer, to make sure that any officer can help any student with their SUSI grant.
Yeah.
It's part of my manifesto,
Okay.
Yeah. To make sure, sometimes, Karen's not invincible. She has been off sick at times, and when she's off sick, Glenn and Owen hold their hands up and they admit they can't help students.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that doesn't happen. I want to make sure that a student can come in with any problem in the Students' Union. I know we all have our own specific roles and we should all oversee them, but for me personally, I want it to sort of be an across the board that we all understand each other's roles. Or, if a student came in with an education problem, if I was elected and the elected education officer wasn't in, that I could say, well, actually, you can go and speak to this person. I kind of want an across the board training for the Students' Union to make sure that as a whole we're functional and that we're giving the best to the students of the college. So that's my plan of what I can improve for the coming year if I'm elected.
I can't wait. Would you like to go over a few points on your manifesto?
Yeah, like I said there, the SUSI grant training is sort of my main thing that I want to focus on.
Yeah.
God, I actually can't even remember it all. It just went on forever. Someone even commented to me the other day of how long it actually was, but as president, I think I need to cover a lot of roles.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, the Susie Student Grant Training for all the officers of the college. Another thing that I want to try and implement, I've actually been talking to some of the officials of the college at the moment, or over the last couple of weeks. Different colleges around Ireland, Athlone IT was used as an example when I was speaking to them about it, have a system called a customer relations management system. Say, for an example, you ring up Meteor and you have a complaint, you get a file and they put your complaint and who dealt with it and what the result was and everything up on it. Colleges have these as well. So say, for example, if you have an issue with your grant and you've gone and spoken to the registrar's office, instead of every time that you have to go in reiterating your story over and over again, they can pull up your file, let you know whether it's been dealt with, that sort of thing. So I'm really going to try and push to get a customer relations management system put in place.
So you've been talking to the offices already before you're elected?
Yeah.
So you're doing your work already? That's good.
Just to make sure, you know, that, well, the thing is, there's no point in going into this if you don't understand what the role entails. That's what I feel anyway. So, you know, I've kind of been talking about different things that could be improved on, and if there is a chance of it being improved, there's no point in sort of saying something that's never going to happen. You know, there's no point in me saying I'm going to reduce your student fees to €1,000 a year. It's not going to happen. But something like that, it can happen. It's just that we need a lot more muscle power behind it to push it forward, to maybe bring it to the forefront of being implemented. Like I said, class council is going to stay. And definitely the class reports, all that sort of thing is definitely going to stay. The canteen, we've had a lot of issues with it. I have heard that the tender is up this year. I've also been talking to other companies outside of the college to let them know that the tender is up, so that hopefully they might put in a tender against our current canteen and maybe get a bit of competition and get better prices.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, I hope to meet with the area manager of the current company in there and maybe first of all, figure out their pricing structure and find out why it's so expensive. But then in addition to that, hopefully maybe if I've gotten a bit of a better understanding of that, maybe talk to her about getting better meal deals. I know it's been done before, but hopefully if we do it again, it might actually happen a bit better. Library hours, the current Students' Union have done a great job at getting those extended. I actually wanted to speak to the library staff. I haven't spoken to them yet, but I know Philip, the deputy librarian, very well. And I'm hoping to, leading up to exams, get extra hours put on that I actually want the full-time student union officers to supervise themselves. So it means that there's no extra cost being put on the college. I don't see why it would be an issue for anyone. It's not like we're going to be giving up our whole lives, you know what I mean? Entertainment, I'm going to run a entertainment survey at the start of the college year to get an idea of what students want and what they don't want. I think it's been fantastic so far. You know, for the 4 years that I was here, it was great, but I love change and I love things to be changed up and shaken up a bit. Clubs and societies, I will work with any club and society and use any contacts that I get from the current Students' Union that will help them. And I also hope, we actually currently have an ITTSU website in place, but it's not very active at the moment, so I really want to get that active and have a lot of news up on that and keep students up to date. The Irish students, I'm rambling here.
Go on.
The Irish Students Engagement Survey, I don't know if you filled it out last year. I did. You should fill it out this year because you can win an iPad.
Okay.
Did you fill it out this year yet?
I have not.
I think you should because you can win. You can win. It's actually a Samsung Galaxy Tab. But the Irish Engagement Survey, I've met with another head of the college who was saying to me that there's a section on it, and I remember filling it out last year. It's additional comments, so it's not just answering the questions. And there was a couple of different complaints about the college put in. So I've organised that if I'm elected, that I will be allowed to see these with names blocked out. So I will see the comments, see the complaints, but nobody's names. So therefore the data protection is still covered. So that hopefully those complaints that are in there, because someone maybe doesn't want to come to us or maybe doesn't want to come to the officials of the college, but it's put there. So to make sure that those are dealt with then as well, you know. And my final thing is, like I said, the SU this year has done a great job at doing it over the last 2 years, but I really want the communication between the students and the Students' Union and the college to really get, improve. I think that's our job, to be listening to the class reps, hearing the voice from the students, and then reiterating that back to the officials of the college at things like governing body and that sort of thing. So that is my plan for the year coming. In a nutshell, thrown out there, rambled on for the last couple of minutes, but that is my plans they are my plans, should I say, for the coming year if I'm elected. So
It sounds great, Cathal. Thanks for coming and joining us in the ITTFM special interview. And make sure everyone gets down to the foyer to vote on Wednesday and Thursday, and you'll see all the candidates running around the corridors trying to get your votes with sweets and whatnot.
And also come to Hustings tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the canteen as well.
You hear them, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.